Alright, how's everybody doing this evening? Back again with another video for you guys and gals. And tonight, what I have for everyone is my full review of the Bluedio T5 Bluetooth earbuds. I'm tripping. Bluedio T5 Bluetooth headphones. Yeah, I could tell I've been reviewing a lot of earbuds, right? So, I've been using these bad boys for a good amount of time, and I feel like I've gathered all my thoughts and opinions on them. So, without further ado, y'all know how the story goes. It's time to jump into the full review. So, starting off, the first thing I want to talk about with you guys and gals is the overall build quality and design of the headphones. Now, in terms of the overall build quality, these bad boys are built out of aluminum, so your cups are built out of a core aluminum component, and so is your extension or fitting riblet here. This is all aluminum, okay, on both sides. Then you have plastic buttons, which are very clicky. Super clicky plastic buttons. And then you have nice plush air cups with nice breathable and comfortable material. And you have a nice plush headband here. Okay? So really good stuff. In terms of the overall build quality, I have to say Bluedio has done a great job. A great job indeed. Really good stuff here. Okay? Now, in terms of the design on these headphones, these bad boys are what you would call your over-the-ear swiveling air cup design. So these go directly over your full ear, and they do swivel for comfort. So this is kind of that DJ style set of headphones here. So really good stuff. And you know, I'm not a fan of the swiveling headphone design, but because of the build materials, I'm kind of okay with this one. But typically, I'm not a fan of these swiveling air cups because that's another breakage point. But overall, I really like this design. It's a really solid design in my opinion. Now, next, let's dive into the core features of these headphones, okay? And this bad boy has a really solid core feature set in my opinion. Okay, core feature number 1, and this one is really important. These bad boys pack Bluetooth 4.2 connectivity on board. So not the latest and greatest by far. Actually, it's a few generations behind, but the Bluetooth on this is actually pretty good. So it's really nice to see that Bluetooth 4.2 connectivity, so you can easily live that hashtag wireless lifestyle. So good stuff there. The next core feature, these bad boys incorporate a really solid microphone, and I gotta tell y'all, spoiler again, we're gonna talk about it in a little bit here, but the microphone on these is really good, and I'm not entirely sure where it is, but trust me, it's pretty good, okay? Next, the third core feature is these bad boys give you the ability to connect up to 2 devices and use those 2 devices at one time simultaneously. So that's really good. They also incorporate an easy 2-step pairing process. We're going to go through that a little bit later on in the video. So good stuff there. And these earphones do feature a dedicated USB-C to 3.5 millimeter jack, and I always feel compelled to point this out. When you use the jack, the earphones does not need power, so you can actually use the 3.5 millimeter cable without needing power to the headphones. Now that's very important because if the headphone battery dies, you don't have to worry about charging it a little bit. You could just plug in the cable and be good to go. So that's a really nice feature in my opinion. Really good stuff there. Okay? So overall, that pretty much does it for the core features, and as I said, it's actually pretty solid. It has a really solid core feature set in my opinion. Alright? Now let's move on and get into the next part of this review. Let's talk about the overall sound quality, the volume, and the bass. Now in terms of the overall sound quality, I have to say Bluedio has done a great job. These bad boys sound really good. at either the low or the high ends of the volume spectrum with little to no distortion on either end. Really good overall sound quality in my opinion. And in terms of the overall volume, they actually get really loud indeed. So that's good stuff there. And if you want to get some more isolation with the volume and the sound quality, they do incorporate active noise canceling on them just by toggling the switch. So that's really good in my opinion, and the volume overall is really good as well. Now, when we talk about the bass on these, in my opinion, is a little bit lacking. I wouldn't say it's good, I would say it's kind of okay. It's just missing that little bit of punch to bring that extra depth to whatever I was trying to do. So the bass on these is not the best in my opinion. So Bluedio, y'all definitely need to step it up in that category. But that pretty much does it for the overall sound quality, the volume, and the bass. Now let's move on and talk about the overall microphones, i.e. microphone quality, i.e. microphone performance in these headphones. And this is another area where I have to say Bluedio has done a great job. Now, whether I was using voice dictation, dictating emails, text messages, dictating to my voice assistant, so on and so forth, the microphones was actually really good. And the same rules apply for phone calls, whether that be video phone calls, whether it be video conferences, which being the times that we in now, that's typically how you got to communicate with people now, because it's always recommended that you stay inside and stay safe unless you need to go grocery shopping or do essential things. So now more than ever, we lean heavily on video conferencing, video calls, all that good stuff here. And if you want to focus in on that call, you're going to need a Bluetooth pair of headphones, earbuds, or what have you, and they're going to need to have a really good quality set of microphones, and this pair of headphones does that. It has a really good overall microphone quality, and overall the microphone performance on these is really good in my opinion. Alright, next. The next thing I want to talk about now is the overall pairing process. And we don't really have too many button controls, but I'm going to touch on the ones we do have. But let's get into the pairing process. Now I'm going to show y'all how to pair up one device, and then I'm going to show y'all how to pair up another device and connect to both devices simultaneously. That's why we got two devices right here. And these steps are pretty much universal. So whether you have an Android device, it's going to work. Whether you have an iOS device, it's going to work. Whether you have a Windows device, it's going to work. Same thing, so on and so forth. So Linux, whether you have a laptop, desktop, you name it, even if you want to connect these up to your car, who knows? Maybe you got sleeping kids in the car and you want to rock them to sleep by putting headphones on so they drown out their surroundings. You can sync these up to your car as long as your car, whatever device you're trying to connect them up to, has Bluetooth. You should be good to go. So let's get into this. And honestly, it's super straightforward, alright? So the first thing you want to do, and let me make sure I turn off my Bluetooth because it's going to connect up to any device that I have Bluetooth connected up to. So let me make sure I have all of the surrounding Bluetooths turned off so we don't run into any issues here. And we're just going to use these devices that are right in front of us. Alright, so let's do that now. Let me cut that one off. Let me cut this one off. And I think that's everything. The computer's turned off, so that's good. Alright, so I think that's everything. We shouldn't have any issues. Now, the first thing you need to do, let's rest the earphones off to the top a little bit here. We're going to come back to these in a second. Now, the first thing you need to do is decide which device you want to connect up first. Now, we're going to start off with the S7 Active here. So what you want to do is you want to go in, you want to swipe down, you want to swipe down again on the notification shade, then you want to tap on the Bluetooth and make sure it turns on, okay? And now we're ready to go, okay? Good. Now what you want to do is back on the headphones here, okay? You want to push this button right here. This is the multifunction power off on button. You want to push it until you hear an audible tone that lets you know the headphones are powered on. Then you want to keep holding it until it says ready to pair. So let's do that now. Power on. Oh yeah. Ready to pair. Okay, now back on the device. We just want to scan up. So we're going to hit scan. Bop. Alright. And then we're going to look for the model number that says Bluedio T5. I got a lot of headphones, y'all. Sorry. So right here, let me show y'all. So we hit scan. And then we're going to look for this model number right here that says Bluedio T5 right there. And you're going to tap on it to connect it. Okay. And you see, now when you do this for the first time, you're going to get a pop-up prompt that says, do you want to pair? You're going to hit OK. And then you're going to hear what you just heard. It's going to say device connected. Alright, so now we're good for device number 1. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to repeat the process for device number 2. But what you got to do is turn off the Bluetooth on device number 1 first. So what we're going to do is swipe down on the notification shade here, turn that Bluetooth off. Alright, it's going to turn off, it's going to go back into pairing mode. Then we're going to take up device number 2 and we're going to redo the steps. So again, power on your display, swipe up, swipe down the notification shade, whoops, my bad. Swipe down the notification shade twice, turn on Bluetooth, tap it one time to turn it on, okay? Then, because I'm using Samsung devices, it automatically pops up the scanning window. So now what we need to do is look for the headphones here. So once again, Bluedio T5 right there, tap on that. It's going to pair up. There you go. So the second device is paired up. Now, back on the first device, you just want to turn Bluetooth on. Okay. And you want to tap on the Bluedio T5s right here. And it should reconnect. Alright. So now, as you can see, we're connected up to the first device. And it works for music, phone calls, and interacting with our voice assistant. So you can see, it says it right there, device connected, okay? Phone calls, media, and otherwise. And then over here on a secondary device, you're going to see the same thing. So you can see right there that we are connected up to 2 devices, and we can use these 2 devices simultaneously between the Bluetooth headphones, alright? Now, we don't really have too many Bluetooth button controls. Now what we have is, okay, now we have play pause with the dedicated button. Alright, so you can play pause with the dedicated button right on the top here. Okay, play pause right there. And then we have the volume up and down rockers right back here. Okay, so there is that. And then if you want to activate, let me see, I can't remember this real quick here. For previous track, you want to press down the volume button, press and hold the volume button down, the volume down rocker for the previous track. For next track, you want to press and hold down the volume up rocker to take you to the next track. Alright, it's really just that simple. I don't even feel like I need to really explain it. Okay, now what I do want to explain is how you would switch between the languages. Alright, now so to switch between the languages, y'all need to keep this in mind. This one's kind of hard, but I'm gonna walk y'all through it nevertheless. Alright, so to switch between the languages, now you want to press and hold the multifunction button here, but at the same time you want to press the volume down button, and you want to do this simultaneously until you hear the language switch. Alright, and you want to keep doing it till you get to your desired language. Alright, so what you would need to do with the headphones on, you want to press this which is the multifunction button, and you want to press this, which is the volume down button, simultaneously, and you'll know you've switched the language correctly because you'll hear the language change in the headphones. And you keep doing it until you get to your desired language. So if you pick up these headphones and they come in the wrong language, you need to push this button combination to get them back to the language that you need. Now, in particular, I think these headphones support 5 different languages. So we got French, we got Chinese and Japanese, we got English, and we got Spanish, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, I think I got all 5. I think that's 5. That might be 4. But those are the language that these headphones support, and then that's how you would switch between the languages. So we went through the Bluetooth headphones button controls, and we went through the most important thing, how you would switch the language. If you pick these bad boys up and they're in the wrong language, or if you just want to switch the language altogether, that's how you would do it. All right? Cool. So that pretty much goes over the pairing steps. So now you guys and gals know how to connect these bad boys up to 2 devices and use the devices simultaneously. And now y'all know how to use the multifunction button controls here. All right? So good stuff. And you also know how to do the most important thing, which is switch to languages if these bad boys come in the wrong language. All right? So good stuff there. Now let me turn these off just to save some juice. Turn them off. So good stuff there. All right? Now let me rest these off to the side real quick, and we're going to take the devices out of here, because we don't need these anymore. Alright, turn these screens off. Take these out. And now, let's bring the headphones back in and continue the video. Alright? Boom. Let's keep it going now. Now, the next thing I want to talk about with y'all is I want to go over now the Bluetooth range and the Bluetooth strength. Alright? Now, these bad boys pretty much have your standard Bluetooth range and your standard Bluetooth strength. So these bad boys have a range of 10 meters or 33 feet. So pretty much standard. And I have to say that range was pretty much right on the money. And as long as I was within that 10 meter or 33 foot range, didn't have any issues with these headphones. And for the instances where I did have issues, a lot of devices creating a lot of interference, that's when the USB Type-C to 3.5 millimeter cable really does come in handy. So for instances where I was doing a lot of things on my computer, and let's say I have a lot of things going, and y'all saw my setup here. Let me show y'all real quick. So y'all can see I got my TV here, got my stick PC, got my wireless chargers going. The TV, the wireless chargers, and the stick PC do create a good amount of interference. So what I could do is connect up my 3.5 millimeter cable with the USB Type-C port, plug it directly into my stick PC, and then we can have some nice quality sound. And the same thing goes for my regular devices. So this is one of the reasons, not just me wanting to connect up external audio, but this is one of the reasons why I like devices with 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks, because Bluetooth is not always going to be the most reliable thing, especially when you're around a lot of things that transmit a lot of interference, like microwaves, washing machines, TVs, other smartphones with their Bluetooth on, GPS on, wireless chargers, even turned on Bluetooth headphones do emit a certain level of interference. So for those rare instances, sorry y'all know I can't talk sometimes, that's where you would want to be able to plug it up. And I'm very happy to see that you can plug it up with these, even though it does have only a USB Type-C port. So good stuff there as well. But overall, as I said, sorry that I went off on that tangent, the overall Bluetooth range and strength on these is really good in my opinion. Alright? So now let's jump directly into the next category. Let's talk about the overall durability. Now, in my 2.5 weeks of usage with these headphones, I have not dropped them on any of the standard surfaces that I drop things on. So y'all can see I got wood floors down there, I got tile floors in the bathroom, and I haven't dropped these at all. But what I have done, and this is probably one of the biggest durability tests ever for a pair of Bluetooth headphones, is I've fallen asleep with my headphones on. And y'all know, maybe you're new to the channel, but I've said this multiple times before, I'm a really bad sleeper. I don't know what it is, but I'm a really bad sleeper. So the ultimate durability test for me is when I fall asleep with these headphones on. Because one of the things that I really enjoy doing is I like to watch Netflix till I fall asleep, or I like to put on one of my favorite audiobooks until I fall asleep. Right now, I'm trying to work my way through the Handmaid's Tale audiobook, so that's pretty good. It's a pretty good book. I really enjoy the series on Hulu, so when I saw the audiobook pop up, I'm like, yeah, we gotta check that out. So that's the current audiobook that I'm listening to, but that's like an ultimate durability test, and you guys and gals know, because I've featured broken headphones on the channel before that couldn't survive the fall asleep test, and I'm very happy to report that these headphones have survived the fall asleep test. Okay, and they've come through unscathed. So y'all can see the air cups are still in perfect condition, no scratches, no none of that. So good stuff. So in terms of the overall durability of these headphones, they're actually top notch in my opinion. Now let's move on to the next category, y'all. Let's keep it moving. We're going to try and wrap this one up quick. Let's now talk about the overall charge times and the overall battery life. Now, when we talk about the charge times here, the manufacturer quoted in the user manual on the website and on Amazon that these bad boys should have an overall charge time, let's start there first, of 1.5 to 2 hours to reach a full charge. Now, I do want to point out one of the things that is kind of a small gripe for me. These headphones, when the battery is low, it just says battery low one time and then it says powered off. You don't get any other indication that the battery is low. You don't even get any time to run to the charger and potentially plug them in. So when the battery is low, it's just gonna power off. It's gonna tell you one time and it's gonna just say powered off. That's it. Boom, that's it. And from that dead state to full, it's gonna take 2 hours to reach a full charge. All right. Now, for the rare instances where you don't drain it completely dead, like I've let it drop down to like 30%, charged it back up. I've let it drop down to 20%, charged it back up. I've even caught it at 10% on the rare occasions and charged it back up. And for some strange reason, that's where my devices like to transmit the low battery warning at about 10%, or on some of my other devices, it does it early at about 20%. So I'm not sure why my devices are not draining it completely to like 10 or 5% or what have you. But it's kind of telling me early. But for those rare instances where I did catch it at like 30% and threw it on the charger, it charged back up in about 1.5 hours. Now, when the headphones are charging, right, you're going to see a red LED right here, okay? And it's going to stay solid while the headphones charge. Now, when the headphones are fully charged, that red LED will turn into a solid blue LED, okay? So that's how you could tell when they're still charging from when they're fully charged, all right? And for the most part, in regards to headphone charging, I would have to say this charging is really good in my opinion. And especially when you look at it juxtaposed to the overall battery life, it's a really solid combination in terms of the charge times and the overall battery life that we're going to jump into right now. Now, in terms of the overall battery life, the manufacturer has 2 quotes, okay? With the active noise cancellation turned on, they said you're going to get 28 hours. Alright? With the active noise cancellation turned off, they said you're going to get 25 hours. Now, for me, I've done this test with both of them, and honestly, they far surpass my battery life, what I need the battery life to be. So the battery life standard like that I hold Bluetooth accessories to, they far surpass it. And honestly, I could not kill these in a standard 24-hour day. Okay? So to put that into perspective for y'all, typically when I was testing these, I used them for about 2 to 3 hours a day. That's about all my ears can withstand in terms of where I kept them at, and I could not kill them in a single day. Now, I tested these at 25% volume, 50% volume, and 75% volume, and they lasted a full 24-hour day, no problem. And then when I say 24 hours, that means I charged them up overnight, and from the minute I woke up in the morning, or didn't go to sleep in some cases, because y'all know I'm a really bad sleeper, I was using them non-stop until the next day. So to put that into perspective for y'all, on the nights when I couldn't sleep, I would use them from 12 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock a.m. the next day, and they still have juice. So that battery life is spot on in my opinion. But I do want to point out something strange that I ran across. Now, if you leave the active noise isolation or noise cancellation turned on, and then you go to power on the earbuds, I'm tripping, sorry y'all, the headphones, for some strange reason it won't power on. So you can power it off and leave the active noise cancellation turned on, but it won't power back on. What you need to do is turn this switch off in order to be able to turn the headphones back on. So that was kind of weird, and I don't know what happened there. And also, you want to make sure that you don't leave this on, because that will add extra battery drain to the headphones. Because there was a few times where I went to pick them up and I'm like, oh, they dead? They should be dead already. And I'm like, oh. I looked on the side and I saw that I left the noise cancellation turned on, and that added an extra battery drain to the battery. So those are two things that you want to look out for. I don't know why it does that, but that's what it does. But in terms of the overall battery life, I'd have to say those estimates are spot on. So if we put this into perspective for y'all, right, you can actually use these for probably about 2 weeks, a week and a half, before you have to charge them. Now, in my 2.5 weeks of usage, which has been heavy usage, I have to be honest with y'all, I only charged these about 3 times. That's how good the battery life is on these headphones. So that's really good in my opinion, okay? You shouldn't have any issues in terms of the overall battery life, okay? So good stuff there. And as I said, when you consider the overall charge times with the overall battery life, that's really good in my opinion, especially for a pair of Bluetooth headphones. So really good charge times and really good overall battery life. Alright, good stuff there. Now I want to briefly run through the positives and negatives of these headphones, and then we're going to wrap this video up. I'm going to talk about the price, and I'm going to give y'all my overall recommendation or two. So let's go. And honestly, there's not too many negatives to speak of. I think there's like one, but other than that, there's not too many negatives to speak of. But let's start off with these positives first. So as I said, the overall build quality and design is top notch. It is extremely comfortable and extremely durable, so that's really good there. It has an overall solid core feature set, so really good stuff there. It has a really good sound quality and a really good volume with really good microphones and a really good Bluetooth range and strength, and some really good overall charge times with some really good overall battery life. And the price that you get these for, oh man, I couldn't even believe that I picked these up for that price. But it is what it is. We're going to talk about the price in a little bit here. That's a really great, solid positive as well. So that pretty much briefly runs through all the positives. Okay? Now let's talk about these negatives. Okay? And honestly, there's really only two. Alright? And negative number one, and this is the fact that, okay, what was I gonna say? The bass. That's right. Negative number one is the bass. Okay? What these are, I was really expecting a lot more bass out of them. Now, I did notice that when I was going hardline with the wire, the bass was a little bit better. But over the wireless connection, the bass really does need some work. And, you know, it kind of saddens me. I've been using Bluedio products for some years now. And one of the reasons why I got into using Bluedio products in the first place, and I can still remember this to this day, was when I first picked up that first pair of Bluedio Hurricane turbines, and I put them on, and the bass on those was amazing. And I was like, man, they got a winner here. But over time, over the generations, they really haven't kept up that pedigree with the bass. Now they've kind of supplemented it by making the overall sound quality and the sound stage good, but that bass and that punch has kind of fallen by the wayside. And I need Bluedio to get back to their roots with that bass, man. I wanna hear that bass. Okay, at least enough bass to add to what I'm trying to do when I'm using these headphones. All right. So the bass on these does need some work. Alright? Now, the other negative has to do with the swiveling ear cup design. I'm not a fan of swiveling ear cups. Some of y'all may like it, some of y'all may not. I'm not a fan of it, so that's why I don't like it. That's why it went into the negative. Now, some of y'all may say, well, wouldn't that mean that the build quality is bad? No, this is just a feature of the headphones that I don't necessarily like. Another feature that I don't necessarily like is that you can easily twist off the ear cups and twist them back on. Now that's good for ear cup replacement, but guess what? I haven't been able to find replacement ear cups. And this same twist off, twist on ear cup style has been like this for at least 2 generations now. And for the 2 Bluedio pairs of headphones that I still own, I haven't been able to find any replacement ear cups. So why would you have an easy detachable ear cup feature when you don't actually sell ear cups? Bluedio, I'm gonna need y'all to get on that, yo. I'm gonna need y'all to get on that ASAP. So, I'm just very passionate about these things, and it really irks me when companies add a feature and they don't let you take advantage of that feature. So, yeah, those are the 2 negatives there, okay? The swiveling ear cup design, okay? The bass, and yeah, those are it. Those are it. I don't keep talking like there's more, but those are it. Those are the 2 negatives that I've come across with these. Alright, so now let's keep it moving. So that pretty much summarizes the positives and negatives. Let's move on to the final part of this video. Let's go. Okay, now the final part of this video, I want to talk about the price and give y'all my overall final thoughts and a recommendation or 2. So talking about the price on these bad boys, I actually picked these up from Amazon, and I picked them up in brand new condition. They're pretty much brand new. I don't know why I said condition. It's brand new. And I was able to pick these bad boys up for, I believe I cashed in a $5 gift card. The full retail price on these was $26.99. Okay? So after I cashed in that $5 gift card, that brought the price down to $21.29 after tax. So I was able to pick these bad boys up for under $25, and that is an unbelievable price in my opinion. And even at the full retail price of $27, maybe $30 after tax, depending on your location and whether or not you're an Amazon Prime customer. I am indeed an Amazon Prime customer. So, based on that, even at the full retail price without the gift card, can I recommend that y'all pick these up? Well, I would have to say yes. As long as you're not a fan of big, punchy bass and you can deal with the negatives that I pointed out in this video, I can easily recommend that y'all pick these up. Now, are these something that I'm going to continue to keep in my arsenal? Sadly, I'm going to have to say no. In my opinion, I feel as though the Bluedio monitors are a little bit better than these, and more importantly, they provide that little bit of much needed bass. And I've been using them side by side. That's why it took me a little bit longer to get this review out. So if you had to choose between the Bluedio T monitors and the Bluedio Hurricane turbines 5th generation, in my recommendation, which one would I say if you were choosing between the two? I would say go with the T monitors. They're a little bit better in my opinion and a little bit more customizable. Okay? Alright, so good stuff there. But if you're looking at these alone, can I recommend them? Yes, especially for the price. Alright, so that pretty much does it for this full review here this evening, guys and gals. As always, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed the video, and I hope y'all found it helpful. If y'all did enjoy this video and or you found it helpful in any shape, form, or fashion, please help your boy out by giving the video a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. If you guys and gals would like to see more content like this, also feel free to hit that subscribe button down below and click off the notification bell icon right next to it so you guys and gals get notified when I publish new videos. That being said, this whole video here this evening was recorded using the rear-facing 12 megapixel camera on the Pixel 2 XL in 1080p resolution at 30 frames per second with no external audio hooked up. So please let me know what you think of the overall video quality as well as what you think of the overall audio quality down below in the comments. As always, all your feedback is greatly appreciated. And as always, if I didn't say it, if this video piqued your interest and you would like to know where you guys and gals can pick these headphones up at some really great prices, all the links to where y'all can pick these bad boys up at some really great prices will be available down below in the video description. So as always, if your interest is piqued, down below in the video description will be like a one-stop shop for you guys and gals, and you should be good to go. Alright, I hope everyone has a great evening, and I will catch you guys and gals in my next video. Have a good one, everybody. Stay safe out there, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. We out of here.